And for Thursday Night Football, it's the Windy City tonight. Chicago and Soldier Field in our matchup, the New York Giants and the Chicago Bears. And for a guy that's hoisted the Lombardi Trophy twice in the last 6 years, uncharted territory for Tom Coughlin, the third winningest active coach in the NFL. His team is off to an 0-5 start. Yet, Philadelphia and Dallas are just 2 games ahead, and it's not unprecedented. Remember, the Redskins came from 3 back last year to go 10-6 and make the playoffs. On the other side of things, the Chicago Bears started off 3-0, despite the fact they've lost the last 2 games. They're in first place in a tie with the Detroit Lions. And we welcome you to Chicago, everybody. Brad Nessler with Mike Mayock. Eli Manning's had a tough start, let's face it. He's had 14 turnovers between the interceptions and the fumbles, and Mike, that's more than any other team in the league. But last night, his coach was pretty quick to come to his defense in our meeting.
And look, there's plenty of blame to go around. Wide receivers not finishing routes. Poor blitz pickup. But at the end of the day, Eli's got to take better care of the football in the pocket. Because the best way to change this losing streak is to win the turnover battle tonight.
On the other side, Jay Cutler doesn't want to watch film of 3 years ago when he was sacked 9 times and knocked out of the ball game. Yeah. But when he's good, he's very good.
When he's good, he's special. Now the problem is when he's bad, he sees ghosts. And what I mean by that is when teams pressure him, he anticipates pressure that isn't there. Detroit 2 weeks ago, 7-man pressure. They do a beautiful job picking it up. You have to trust your protection. He throws off his back foot. It's an easy interception. When Jay Cutler trusts his front and gets the ball out of his hands quickly, it's pretty darn special.
Before these 2 storied franchises meet for the 57th time, down to the field and Alex Flanagan.
Hi, Brad and Michael. The Giants get a big break tonight, and the Bears turnover machine cornerback Charles Tillman will not play tonight because of an injury. A lot of people are wondering about the psyche of the 0-5 Giants. I've spoken to a lot of people within the organization, including owner John Mara. Everybody telling me that there are no indications that anyone is pointing a finger right now. But maybe the bigger question is just how much more can this team's depth be tested. They'll be starting their 3rd running back tonight in Brandon Jacobs. And guys, you're going to see John Beeston playing at middle linebacker. A week ago, last week, he was a member of the Carolina Panthers.
A lot of changes. Chicago won the toss and deferred, so they kick away to Jarrell Jernigan. And he'll take a knee in the end zone. And out comes Eli Manning. And as Alex was talking about, Eli told us some of the younger guys, you have to keep their chin up a little bit in the locker room. But he didn't act any different last night in meeting with them than any other time. 12 interceptions, 15 all of last season.
Brad, he's a flatliner. He's just one of those guys that isn't going to show a lot of emotion. Nothing seems to get to him. Tonight's going to be a challenge to keep those young guys, especially when the offensive line, positively involved.
Play action for Eli on 1st down. Rolls and fires and in and out of the hands of Victor Cruz. Let's take a look at our difference makers tonight. The aforementioned Victor Cruz.
Got to make that play. I think he's got to come back to the football. And Hakeem Nicks, he had 9 catches last week for 142 against Philly, but he cost them some turnovers. He didn't finish routes. I think these wide receivers have got to do a better job of protecting their quarterback.
2 tight ends in there. Actually, Pascal they use as an H-back, fullback type. On 2nd down and 10. Brandon Jacobs puts both hands around the ball and goes out. Positive yardage, picked up 4. Will bring up 3rd down and 6. Difference makers defensively.
Couple pretty special guys. Julius Peppers has been around for a long time, 32 years old, 12 years. And Charles Tillman, 41 forced fumbles in his career, will not play tonight. He tried to go prior to the game. He just couldn't make any kind of sudden change of directions, and they're really going to miss him. Zach Bowman starts in his place.
Darrell Scott in the backfield with Manning on 3rd down. Giants abysmal 26% on 3rd down conversions, and he throws an interception. And it's Zachary Bowman back inside the 15-yard line. And there's interception number 13 of the year.
Chicago makes a living showing A-gap pressure. That means on either side of the center. And then they're going to bring Isaiah Fry. Here's the A-gap pressure here, but Fry comes off the edge. He forces the ball out quickly. We talked about the turnovers in our open, and Eli Manning cannot throw that football.
So Zach Bowman, the guy that started for Tillman with the interception, and it sets the Bears up already inside the red zone of the 12-yard line of the Giants. 21 giveaways all of last year. They've matched that here to start week 6.
52. Squeeze 52.
So a golden opportunity less than a minute into the ball game for Cutler and the Bears offense. Play action. He might want it all right here. Gets out of it. He'll run and slide down at the 11. And Antrell Roll made sure that he didn't get any farther.
He wanted Marshall, one of the top receivers in the league, but everybody's double covering this guy. Look at Amukamara outside. All of a sudden he breaks across the middle. Oh yeah, we got Ryan Mundy picking you up too, big fella. And he has seen that, Brad, every week this season, and he's getting a little frustrated.
He talked to you on the field before the game about that very thing.
Yeah, he really hopes they can start to push the ball his way, but I told him the best thing that could happen is Alshon Jeffries continues to shine.
Alshon's to the bottom of your screen. They fake the throw and give it to Forte, and Matt Forte drives down to the 6. Brings up a 3rd down for the Bears, and Jay Cutler, 37-24 as a starter. So the Bears only 36% on 3rd down conversions this year. They've got a big one here trying to take advantage of Eli Manning's interception to Zachary Bowman.
Hey, 54 on
They're down and 3.
Cheating on Brandon Marshall. They got 1.5 players on him out wide.
They'll run it again. Forte's going to be bottled up before he can get to the 1st down marker. Nice job by the Giants defense, and Beeson, who we talked about in the pregame, made the tackle.
Nice job in front of Beeson.
Now Mark Trestman's going to go for it here.
Okay.
And the Giants stop him on 4th down and 2 and prevent any damage from the interception. A bunch set of 3 receivers to Jay Cutler's left. And that's where he wants to go with the ball. And a crossing route, and Marshall can't hold it. And the Giants will take over on downs.
Yeah, I don't think Marshall anticipated it that late. And Cutler just had to get rid of the football, and let's give some credit to this Giants defense.
So no damage from Eli Manning's interception. Marshall had it, couldn't hold it, tried to tip it himself, but comes up empty, and the Giants on offense when we return. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL. And delivered by Papa John's, official pizza sponsor of the NFL. Looked like the Bears were going to deliver some points off an Eli Manning interception. But the defense of the Giants held. And now New York takes over inside its own 5-yard line. Brandon Jacobs trying to cut to the right, and he finds a big opening. 1st down and all the way out near the 20-yard line. Might be the best run he's had in a year and a half. 16 yards.
And Brad, that's exactly what they need. Watch what happens at the point of attack here with the right tackle, who's their 1st-round pick. Right there, Pugh does a really nice job of sealing the outside. They haven't been able to run the football this entire season.
Last in the league at 57 yards a game, and he got 16 right there.
If they can run the football effectively, it gives Manning a shot.
On 1st down, crossing out in and out of the hands of Jacobs, incomplete. And Briggs was right there to give him a pop. Eli 0 for 3 so far. Has completed 1, but it was to the wrong jersey.
Watched an awful lot of tape of Eli Manning over the years, and when he gets frustrated and tries to push the ball down the field and holds on to it too long, that's when the bad things happen. But most of it's pretty darn good.
Jacobs, and again off the right side, does a nice job to pick up 5, almost 6. DJ Williams brought him down.
Hey, they're running the football effectively, and the right tackle, Justin Pugh, first-round pick out of Syracuse, again, does a really nice job at the point of attack. Check Pugh out right here. Does a nice job sealing off the inside. The tight end does a good job, and that time was Bear Pasco on the outside. And Brad, I can't underscore enough, if they can run the football, this is a completely different Giants offense.
It'll be an empty backfield for Eli Manning. His last third down was not good. And it's 3rd down and 5 here. This time protected. Steps up, fires wide open in the middle. Rueben Randle. And Randle rumbles across the 45-yard line with a first down for the Giants and a pickup of 20.
And this time Chicago only brings 3. They're showing about 6 or 7 guys up. They only bring 3. Eli Manning realized, look at the double team here, no problem. And he sees Randle wide open, and that's the disadvantage. Even though you can cover more territory dropping 8, the problem is when you only pressure with 3, a veteran quarterback can take his time and pick you apart.
Randle was a big part of the offense against the Eagles last week with 6 catches, including a couple of touchdowns. Big first down there at the 45. And now Eli comes up and throws it up right to the corner. Tim Jennings, pick 6. Touchdown. .48 yards on the interception return for the score. And that one's even got Eli shaking his head at what he just did.
I've never seen anything like this in my life. And Brad, you know I put together a reel of Eli Manning's interceptions to show to our production team. And on the reel of 12 interceptions, 4 were disconnects with his wide receiver. And there comes the 5th right there.
Robbie Gould in for the point after. Up and good. Just under 10 minutes remaining in the first quarter. And the Bears defense again. The first one thrown by Eli Manning didn't cost points. The second one with Tim Jennings went 48 yards for a touchdown. Eli Manning throws his second pick 6 of the season.
This is just cover 3. He's got eyes on the quarterback. He sees Manning throw the football, so he jumps it. I have no idea what Rueben Randle's doing. And again, a disconnect between Eli Manning and his wide receiver.
Kickoff will go on the back of the end zone. And now you got to wonder, even though he's a veteran and he's a Pro Bowler, what kind of confidence is shaking with Eli Manning right now?
Hey, a couple of series, a couple of picks, one of them a pick 6. Randle was involved, by the way, on both of them.
Right.
He's now on the sideline.
Might give you an indication that he didn't do the right thing on at least one of them.
Look at that number, 7 points and 8 turnovers. They got to stabilize this thing. Their defense did a great job holding Chicago on a 4th down, and then they gave it right away.
We're back to Brandon Jacobs, and he's hitting the backfield this time. Loss of a yard. Lance Briggs, the captain and the face of that Bears defense, makes the stop.
I really like Lance Briggs, and people talk about how old he is. He's 32 years old, 11 years in the league, Brad. The more tape I just kept saying, here's a guy that's a quick flow linebacker. What he's lost as far as speed is considered, he's made up with instincts. He's so quick to the football. Came
in leading the Bears in tackles and has already added 2 or 3 tonight in the first quarter. Jacobs goes left side. Takes DJ Williams with him for a couple of those 5 yards.
Kind of fun talking to Mel Tucker yesterday about his linebacker group. Remember, all 3 of them are over 30 years old.
Right.
And he told me on the field before the game, DJ Williams, he just loves the game of football. He talked about James Anderson being a computer and how much he loved it. And I think Mel Tucker is one of those guys that down the road is going to get another opportunity to be a head coach.
He's already been an interim head coach in the NFL.
Yep.
Third down and 6.
Okay.
The Bears fans know this is danger time.
And this is where they heat you up. You can already see it. A single high safety. They're going to jump in the A-gap.
Manning throws complete. First down to Cruz. And a nice spin move to get out to the 40-yard line.
So far, they've completed 2 curl routes where the protection has been excellent. You can see the tight end is right up in there. Take a look at that. Brandon Myers anticipating A-gap pressure. I like the way Eli just kind of slides to his right, picks out Cruz. First down.
Cruz trots out to the near side. 200th career reception right there. Pump fake. And now Manning comes back to the near side of Cruz again. In Bears territory, run out at the 44-yard line by Bowman.
Eli loves this route. It's called a sluggo seam, and they're going to run a slant and go up top. If that's not there, you either have the tight end up the seam or your third option's all the way over here. One option doesn't like number 2. He comes all the way back to number 3, Victor Cruz. That's a veteran quarterback.
That's a long throw, too.
Yeah, it is. He's got a big arm.
So things calm down a little bit for the Giants. Only trailing by 7 on those 2 interceptions, but in Bears territory now. First down, draw play. Darrell Scott. And Scott might have gotten 2 or 3, and this time a week ago he was watching the games on TV at his home on a couch.
Yeah, David Wilson hurt his neck. His status going forward is unknown. That left him with Brandon Jacobs and Michael Cox as the only tailbacks on the roster, so they quickly re-signed him. I think his value is on third down and in their nickel package. He understands pass protection.
Jacobs back in there now. So is John Connor, the fullback, as the Giants are in an eye on second down and 8. It's going to be Jacobs, and he cuts it to the right side again, and that's where the bread has been buttered so far for the ground game.
And that's, I think they have to be patient. We've already seen the 2 picks. They've shown an ability early here to run the football, which they haven't thus far in the season. And I really think they got to look at this game and say, okay, let's stabilize this thing. Be patient.
Jacobs got 36 yards already here in the first quarter. They'd like to get one more big yard here.
Yeah.
He'll give it a shot, and he's got it, and he busts into the next level, all the way down to the 22-yard line. 14 more for Brandon Jacobs.
Yeah, great job on the right side. David Deal and Justin Pugh. The right guard and tackle are going to double team here. And then watch the tight end H-back here do a nice job. Bear Pasco in the hole. It's clean. And Jacobs again, for the 3rd or 4th time, gets to the 3rd level. Pretty darn clean.
And you got to remember, he's 265 pounds coming at you. Scott checks in to the backfield. We got flags down for the first time tonight. Might have an illegal substitution. John Perry's our referee.
Prior to 12 men on defense. Timeout. Chicago.
Bears timeout. With 5:17 remaining in the first quarter. Bears by a touchdown, but the Giants threatening at the 22. Thursday night football in Chicago. Couldn't ask for a better night. Beautiful couple days we've been here. Chamber of Commerce weather for the Windy City. 8th play of the Giants drive. First down. Play action. Manning throws complete. Nix inside the 5-yard line. Again, that one was thrown into a little bit of traffic, but a nice throw and catch. And a pickup of 17.
They got the nickel. Fry turned around a little bit. I think Eli, when he sets his feet, I think he throws that slant as well as any quarterback I've seen in this league.
That one was perfect, right where it had to be.
Right on body.
First and goal for the Giants at the Bears 5. And Scott went the wrong way, still got the handle, and picked up a couple. Remember, this guy just got to camp this week for the second time around.
Hey, good job just kind of keeping it together between Manning and Scott. Eli's going up. Where'd you go? All right, there you are. Now, mistakes in the red zone tend to be very painful to an offense, but the Giants have to come away with some points here.
They're going to put Jacobs back in there at the tailback spot.
And they got the Terminator in at fullback, who's a better point of attack guy than Bear Pasco.
If they can get a score, it'll be the first time all year with a 10-play drive that produced points. Jacobs puts his head down, batters his way into the end zone. Wow. Touchdown, New York. That looks like the Brandon Jacobs of about 5 years ago.
Wow. And you mentioned earlier, 264 pounds. Jim Cordell, the center, David Deal, the guard. The block right in here is key, and then the Terminator comes through, gets a piece of the linebacker. Now look at the contact at the 3-yard line, but the legs keep driving. Wow, great job by the tailback Jacobs.
Josh Brown in for the point after.
Lance Briggs looked like he was trying to rope a cow.
The kick is up and good. So Brandon Jacobs blasts his way into the end zone to cap an 80-yard drive in 10 plays. 7-7 at Soldier Field. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by GMC. Vote for the Never Say Never moment of the week at NFL.com/GMC. And by New Era, the official on-field headwear of the NFL. Tie game with 3:48 remaining in the first quarter, courtesy of an impressive Giants drive. Brandon Jacobs did a lot of it. Eli Manning, they don't call him Easy E for nothing. After throwing 2 interceptions in his first 5 passes, he went 3 for 3 on that touchdown drive that covered 80 yards. Brandon Jacobs has 53 yards. And as a team, Giants only average 57 a game, so they're off to a great start on the ground. Devin Hester, 26 yards away from being the all-time Bears kickoff return leaders. Not going to get 26 on this one, and he got put down at the 15-yard line. Now, Sunday's game day and NFL Network gets you started early. Set your alarm. 7 o'clock Eastern time, we get it going. Then the Hall of Fame cast on NFL Game Day morning follows at 9, takes you up to kickoff. And then game day continues with the best plays of the day at 7:30. After the Sunday night game, we cap everything off with NFL Game Day final. That's all Sunday on NFL Network. That's perfect for you. I know you're a guy that sets your alarm so you can just be involved with football for 12 or 13 hours.
Hey, Sunday's a pretty good day.
Yeah.
And Saturday's not bad either.
Like this Thursday's not off to a bad start.
Yeah, Thursday night football.
As we start week 6 in a tie game. And Jay Cutler on play action on first down. Fires high and caught though by Brandon Marshall. Boy, he climbed the ladder on that one. 20-yard pickup.
Partner, you called that right. And when you look at these 2 wideouts for Chicago, this is what you get. 2 big bodies. They don't run great routes, but look, he's covered. That's great coverage. Cutler throws it behind him and high, but he's so big, athletic, and has great hands, all of a sudden, he's maybe not covered. That's what this offense is all about, throwing the balls to big, strong athletes.
First down at the 34. Cutler in the shotgun. Here comes a blitz from the Giants. He throws to Forte around it, and Forte's got another first down. Bumped out of bounds, but he picked up about 13. Such a dangerous weapon, number 22, on the ground and as a receiver.
I really like the design, too, because they had a wide receiver bubble screen to one side and come back to Forte with the halfback the other way. Really well done by Mark Trestman and Aaron Cromer.
Aren't a lot of guys around that can do Forte not only as a rusher, but as a receiver. He and Jamal Charles, 2 of the guys that have over 27 receptions on the year to go with their rushing yardage. Cutler, and that one got away from him. I don't know if somebody tipped that. Keith Rivers might have gotten a hand on it.
I think he was just trying to get the football out because Rivers was in his face so quickly. And whenever you're on the backside of bootleg, The contained player has to stay home, and Rivers does a great job. He stays home and forces the ball out early.
So second down at the 47. You look at Kyle Long, the big right guard, the #1 draft choice. Alshon Jeffrey hasn't caught a ball yet. Quick slant, Brandon Marshall, another first down. Pick up with 12 more.
Yeah, and they brought John Beeson up the middle and made the block inside. Cutler read it correctly. You're going to get pressure right here. Kyle Long and Garza pick it up. 3-step ball out. And Brandon Marshall does what he has to do. Brad, he wins inside. He beats Amukamara inside. And he almost stripped that football, but again, strong hands by Brandon Marshall.
Almost like thrown to a tight end with a lot of speed. Great start for Marshall tonight. Frustration's over, I think, for him. First down to the 41. Play action. Cutler zips it across the middle. This one's complete to Fiametta. Fiametta down the sideline, all the way down to the 10-yard line.
So, Brad, here's the deal. It's okay to give up a check down to a fullback for 5 or 6 yards, but it's not okay to miss the tackle. Watch Keith Rivers come in, number 55 from the left side of your screen. Arm tackle. Fiametta runs through it, and now it's not okay.
Career long catch, as you might guess, for Fiametta, 30 yards. And the Bears have it at the Giant 11-yard line. Cutler changes things up and calls timeout. Didn't like the looks of what he had on the field. He'll talk it over with Mark Trestman, and we'll be back to see what they do. 10th anniversary of NFL Network, and here on Thursday Night Football, tie game in Chicago. Eli Manning's thrown a couple of interceptions. One was a pick six by Tim Jennings. The Bears offense hasn't scored yet, and Manning led his team on a touchdown drive to even this thing late in the first quarter. Chicago can get a first down around the 1. Forte runs into a wall. Jason Pierre-Paul, the first guy there, and no gain on the play.
Yeah, pretty good job by Linval Joseph, who may not get credit for the tackle, but that big body guy who's in a contract year, he's 6'4", 323 out of East Carolina. When he's in the middle of that defensive line, it makes a difference.
They actually lost a little bit there, and that will bring the first quarter to a close as Jay Cutler and the Bears offense starts walking the other way. Rough start for Eli Manning, then went 3 for 3 on their 80-yard touchdown drive. And two teams that have met 6 times in NFL championship games on Thursday Night Football have given us a pretty good first quarter. Giants 7, Bears 7 at Soldier Field. We open the second quarter in Chicago in a tie game. Brad Nessler, Mike Mayock, Alex Flanagan at Soldier Field. You and I are always going to wear the same thing tonight.
I like the coat of arms, man.
Second down and 11 to open the quarter. Forte. Not much. Giants stop him for a loss of about a yard. Coming in, we weren't worried about the Bears rushing game. We said all week when you and I were talking, if the Giants don't find a ground game, they don't have a chance. They've had a ground game tonight that's given them a chance right now.
Yeah, a big piece of that, I think, are the injuries to the Chicago Bear defensive tackle. Stephen Paya didn't make it tonight. Melton's out. Nate Collins got hurt a week ago.
Henry Melton, yeah, is on IR.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of issues at defensive tackle, but credit the Giants for being patient and taking advantage.
Empty set here for Jay Cutler in the shotgun. On 3rd and 9 to the end zone. Touchdown, Brandon Marshall. That was just too easy. 10-yard touchdown pass. Jay Cutler's 11th scoring toss of the season. And for Brandon Marshall, that's number 4 on the year. Robbie Gould in for the point after. Up and good. Early second quarter. Jay Cutler was 5 out of 6 on that drive. 3 of them to Brandon Marshall. And as I said, that last one looked too easy.
Yeah, and we talked about Marshall being so frustrated prior to the game because of the last couple of weeks. But man, done a nice job today, both with contested passes. And that one, I'm really surprised in that situation he was that open.
So an 86-yard drive capped by this touchdown pass.
Now he's going to get in behind the hang defender. And once that happens, I'm not sure where that safety is. That looks like a huge disconnect to me. Will Hill, the safety's got to be over top of that. He was in no man's land.
And Brandon Marshall with the bright neon cleats tonight. 42 catches and a touchdown so far. 42 yards, I should say, and a touchdown.
That's going to cost them some money, but it looks pretty good, right?
And it's for a cause.
Yep.
We'll talk about that in a second. Sure. Gold has got it teed up. Darrell Jernigan on the other end, but hasn't been able to return one tonight. This one he won't return either. So they come out to the 20-yard line. We're going to be in Arizona next week. Thursday Night Football. Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch, Larry Fitzgerald and company. Should be a dandy. And the NFC West, the Seahawks and the Cardinals next Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern.
Cardinals very quiet 3-2 with a huge challenge on the road at San Francisco. Let's face it, San Fran whacked Houston last week. It'll be fun to watch Arizona next week.
Jacobs, who's had a big night so far, has got another 4-yard gain. They're working that right side.
Running game has been so effective tonight. Jacobs, 264 pounds. Really good job inside the double team by Deal. Good block by Bear Pasco, the ace block. And then look at the legs journey. Final 3 yards. He takes Lance Briggs with him. Good job by that Giants offense.
Ain't going to find a touchdown run much tougher than that one. On 2nd and 6, he'll get it again. This time only about a yard. Let's check in with Alex.
Well, Brad, Brandon Jacobs just ecstatic tonight about getting a second chance, really, with the Giants organization. He came out onto this field tonight, one of the first guys out here, jumped on the field, jumped in the air, and said, "Woohoo!" I said, "What are you so excited about?" He said, "I never thought I'd be starting again for this organization." You know, he toiled in San Francisco, only played in 2 games there last year, and then came back here. Didn't imagine that he'd ever be starting for this team again, and yet here he is, giving them a real spark tonight.
Yeah, it's been 5 years since he had his starring role with over 1,000 yards and 15 touchdowns wearing a Giants uniform. Big 3rd down and 5 for Manning and the Giants offense. Eli moves around in the pocket, crossing route, and good second effort is going to get Bear Pasco a first down and a bunch more. And a guy with a name that should be wearing the other uniform, Bear Pasco, first down for the Giants.
Nice job by Manning being patient. Once again, look at them. They're showing a gap. They both drop out, but the interior line runs a twist. Manning steps up and through the pocket, and look at Pasco. Catches the football, runs through the tackle. No arms there. Fry's got to bring his arms on that tackle. Real good effort for the first down.
Moves it to the 39-yard line.
What else, set? 180.
Quick drop, crossing route, snatched by Nix. Great grab, heading to the sideline, trying to get the first down, and he'll get it. Picked up 11.
And that's a good read by the Giants, because the Bears rotated away from here, and he's just going to run a slant. Defensive backs rotating the deep outside. The safety 47, Conte, rotated to the middle. Eli read it the whole way. And Hakeem Nicks with those big mitts. He's got as big a group of two hands as I've ever seen, Brad.
He needed him on that. He was catching the back of the ball. That one had a little smoke on it.
Yeah, I shook his hand at the combine years ago, and it went up to my elbow.
Jacobs this time slips a little bit on his own, goes down to the line of scrimmage. Bass is there to make the stop.
So, Neff, beginning of the game, who starts at defensive tackle for Chicago? Well, Corey Wooten, who's a defensive end, starts at defensive tackle. He only weighs 270. Landon Cohen, who was cut by Dallas and signed on September 27th, starts at the other tackle. So, on one hand, while I'm crediting the Giants for patience and the ability to run the ball, let's understand how decimated Chicago is inside.
From midfield, 2nd and 10. Bears look like they're going to bring pressure. They back out of it. Manning fires far side, caught by Cruz, and another Giants first down.
And I really like the recognition by Manning and his receivers again. They rotated and they went away from the rotation.
Flag down in the backfield.
Illegal use of hands. Hands to the face. Defense. Number 96. Penalty will be declined. Result of the play. 1st and 10. New York.
A rookie out of Montana State, Zach Minter.
So here's what happens. Safety to deep middle. Corner goes off. They read the rotation, and this is like stealing for a veteran quarterback. That corner has deep outside. Cruz runs them off, comes back for the football. Nice cushion. Nice play.
And after 2 early interceptions, Eli Manning has hit his last 6 passes. Terrell Scott back in the backfield with it. Fakes it to him, and he's going to go long. Got a man on the sideline, Randall. And Randall fighting his way to a touchdown. 37 yards. Manning to Rueben Randall. And the Giants back within a point.
That would be a veteran quarterback who look down the seam. We're going to see this safety get used by Manning on Cruz on the seam route. Eli looks at Cruz number 80, looks him off, and comes back late. That's a wonderful job by a veteran quarterback of taking advantage of the safety, Major Wright. A pretty good job of Randall getting in the end zone, huh, partner?
Absolutely. Used every bit of that 210 pounds to back his way in. Eli Manning, Kevin Gilbride, yep, I had it all the way.
Let's see the feet. 1, 2, now does he finish?
Still green.
Good, he's good. Yep.
They're taking a look at that play. We'll take a quick timeout with it. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. And brought to you by Craftsman. They reviewed that last play upstairs. And here's John Perry.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field has been confirmed. Touchdown.
If Rueben Randall is a double E with, he's out of bounds.
You can just see the green grass there, Ness. And you're exactly right.
Beautiful job of staying inbounds and then powering his way into the end zone.
Pretty cool shot, too. That was awesome.
So a guy that probably ran the wrong route on the pick 6 that Eli Manning suffered in the first quarter comes back and gets 7 back for him. 7 if Brown hits this extra point, that is. And he does. Some long scoring drives by both teams. Giants went for 80. Bears came back and went 86. And now another 80-yard touchdown drive in 7 plays.
Offside, defense, number 23. Extra point is good. Penalty will be enforced on the ensuing kickoff.
10:31 remaining in the first half. Manning and Briggs, Bears and Giants, and a tie game again. Soldier Field in Chicago. Good game here in the first half. Tied up at 14. There's the neon cleats of Brandon Marshall, who scored the last time Chicago had the ball. And the kick is going to sail over Devin Hester's head. Alex has more on those bright spikes that might cost him a little bit of money.
Yeah, Brad, I think the whole city of Chicago knows, because Brandon Marshall was very vocal this week about the fact that he was going to wear his bright neon green shoes, despite the fact that he will be fined by the National Football League. You might or might not know that Brandon Marshall was diagnosed a few years ago with borderline personality disorder. He actually sought treatment for it and feels like he's come out the other end. So he's helping others that suffer from mental disorders and wants to bring attention specifically to borderline personality disorder, and that's why he's wearing the shoes tonight. He will match the fine that he gets and donate it to his foundation.
I told you earlier it was for a good cause.
Yep.
He's played very well tonight in the first half. Here's Forte. That's his best run of the night. Goes out for 7 yards. One of the buildings in Chicago following the lead of Brandon Marshall. Probably not quite as bright a neon, but it's
Number
close.
62. 62.
He's really an interesting young man. I root for him. I've followed him since he came out of Central Florida through his ups and downs. But I think he's basically a good guy at heart.
And of course, was with Jay Cutler in Denver when they were the main battery. And here they are in Chicago doing the same thing. Forte cuts it outside. He's going to take John Beeson with him out of bounds with a first down.
You notice the last two run plays have gone on the right side, and there's two rookies on that side. Kyle Long, the first-round pick out of Oregon, and Jordan Mills, the fifth-round pick. Kyle's one of the best athletes in this draft. Gets up to the second level on a linebacker. Look at him stay on Beeson. He ran 4.9 at the combine at 300 plus. He had 16% body fat. And he could play left tackle in this league if they want him to.
Howie and Diane's little boy.
Another one.
And Chris's little brother. First down, blitz coming. Picked up. Cutler's going to let it rip. Back shoulder throw. Alshon Jeffrey's got it. Into Giant territory in a 27-yard pickup.
And it's Matt Forte. You mentioned him earlier in his versatility. Watch him step up and pass protect. Here comes an X stunt by the linebackers. Here and here, he picks up Paysinger, gives Jay plenty of time. And remember, Brad, we talked about these big body wide receivers. There's another example. Little slant and go, back shoulder. He gets Terrell Thomas turned around. Man, they're throwing the ball well today, and it's fun to watch Cutler when he's protected.
Alshon Jeffrey, who set a Bears record last year for yardage on the end of Cutler's passes. This one's going to be a short throw to Bennett, the tight end, and he's got another Bear first down. Former Giant hurdles his man to pick up 14, and they move the chains again. Bennett last year, a career year, as you called him, a rent-a-tight end last year with the New York Giants. There's his numbers.
He's always been a gifted kid, Brad. He's gotten better and better as a blocker over time.
Originally a second-round pick of the Cowboys, but they got kind of stuck behind Witten down there in Dallas. Coming into his own. Now is Chicago. First and 10 at the 26. Straight drop for Cutler. Pressure coming. Fade to the corner and out of bounds. Joe Anderson was the closest receiver, but he threw that one away. And Cutler had hit his last 5 passes. There was no chance for that one.
And the reason they use Evan Britton, a tackle at tight end, is to set the edge for their passing game. But this time, Kiwanuka gets underneath him, throws him off, and forces Cutler to throw it off his back foot. Good coverage also by Mukamara.
A second down at 10. There's everybody in tight except Brandon Marshall, who's in motion. Flags are down. Cutler might be down at the end of this one. And he is tripped up, falling out of bounds. And again, a penalty marker on the play.
Nessie gave Pierre-Paul the old basketball fake, the fake jump shot. Got Pierre-Paul to jump in the air, and that's what got him to the edge.
Offside. Defense. Number 95. 5-yard penalty. Replay. Second down.
Sean Rogers, the old veteran out of Texas, with the penalty.
13-year player. 350 pounds. They've been rotating a lot of defensive tackles through there, trying to get everybody a rest.
So that free 5 makes it 2nd and 5. Jeffrey to the top and Marshall down to the bottom of your screen. And the quick slant. Marshall's got another first down inside the 15.
That's just smart football. Bushrod, the left tackle, gets the defensive end up the field, and then you're stealing with a soft corner. That's a nice job of Marshall recognizing a potential blitz situation. He cut the route off, and Cutler got the ball out.
We've had 3 touchdown drives in a row of over 80 yards, and we've got another one in the making right here with just under 7 minutes remaining in the half. Bears with the first down at the Giants' 14-yard line. Jay Cutler's been hot, crossing route to Forte. Forte, both hands around the football, got to the 5, didn't get the first down, but he got 9 before Keith Rivers brought him down.
He crosses John Beeson's face, who had to worry about a tight end vertical. Nice little play design. And you talked about Forte earlier and just how versatile and valuable he is to this offense, Brad, and you're right on target.
His 6th year out of Tulane. He's got him at the 5-yard line with a 2nd down and 1. First year coach Mark Trestman hoping his Bears finish off another 80-yard drive. Forte, he's got the first down, not the touchdown. And he'll have it around the 3-yard line before they unpile everybody.
Getting a little chippy out there, and I'm guessing that Kyle Long's involved.
Yeah, he's in there. They say if there's a mix-up going on the field, number 75 is going to be part of it.
Cutler said he was the enforcer, and to the extent they got to calm him down a little bit. And the rookie next to him, Jordan Mills, is such a flatliner. Apparently, he's good for Kyle.
The right side of the Bears line, the only team in the NFL starting 2 rookie offensive linemen. Cutler, touchdown, Brandon Marshall. Second of the night for number 15.
Talk about the big bodies right now. Same thing. Fans love it. Big body outside. Good protection. Ball's out. Throw to the back shoulder. Terrell Thomas. The reason Thomas is in here is he's a bigger body. They started him tonight because of that.
So Brandon Marshall having a huge first half. Robbie Gould for the point after. And the Bears have an answer for the Giants drive. They come right back and go 80 again. Got a shootout going at Soldier Field between the Giants and the Bears, and it's Chicago by 7. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by GMC. Vote for the Never Say Never moment of the week at NFL.com/GMC. And by KFC. KFC plus football equals couchgating. Each team has had an answer for the other on long scoring drives. Chicago just went 80 yards in 9 plays again. And Brandon Marshall with his 2nd touchdown catch of the night has put Chicago up by 7. This one going to bounce and be returnable from the goal line by Jernigan. And Jernigan got the edge. Jernigan out across the 40 before he's run out of bounds. Nice kick return. They hadn't let him return one until now, and he goes for 46 yards. That's going to give the Giants great field position for Eli Manning and company with still 5:12 remaining in the half. The best kickoff return guys in NFL history. I don't think was crazy about where his kicker kicked the last one that was returned 46 yards and sets the Giants up at the 46-yard line. All three of their timeouts remaining. Brandon Jacobs on a counter. And, oh, man, is he met in the hole by Briggs. And he's going to lose a yard.
Yeah, Major Wright did a nice job taking on the lead block, and then Briggs cleaned it up. Yeah, I'm not sure what Devin Hester wanted right there. I'm not sure that's any of his business where Robbie Gould kicked the football. It's probably some frustration talking because you know Hester wants to return the football, and he's not getting much of an opportunity.
Well, we've had scoring drives 4 times now. Back to back to back to back of 80 yards or more. Giants won't have to go that far to try to tie the game up. Throw short across the middle. And Jacobs, man, he is just a bull in a china shop right now. And he got out to the 47-yard line. Pickup of 8 when it looked like it was going to be about 3.
Yeah, you don't need any kind of special graphics here. You just need to watch the effort of this 264-pound tailback. I'm going to shut up.
Wow.
Isn't that awesome?
A lot like his touchdown run, only that was on a reception. Here's the biggest third down of the ball game so far. Giants have converted their last 4 third down situations. Trying to keep this drive alive on 3rd down and 3. Empty backfield. Eli Manning fires. It's high and incomplete, intended for Nix. And so the one they needed to try to keep things going here before halftime eludes them.
Yeah, that time they went with cover 1, man to man. Nix tries to win inside. You give Jennings some credit. Coming underneath, undercutting the route. He's a much shorter player. And just off Nix's fingertips.
First punt of the game upcoming. And there's the aforementioned Devin Hester. Back to return one if he can get his hands on it. And he's had 12 punt returns in his career for touchdowns. Weatherford's kick. And Hester just got to get out of the way. Hit the helmet of Jernigan down there trying to dive and save it. And so with 3:34 remaining in the half, the Bears hold, force the punt, and they'll have it back on offense. Coming up Tuesday, Michael Strahan's storybook career was almost never written, but football and a larger-than-life personality propelled him to stardom on and off the field. It's an all-new A Football Life, Michael Strahan, Tuesday at 9 Eastern, only on NFL Network. Former All-Pro with the Giants. He's on TV every day but Saturday now.
And I'll tell you, NFL Films is 2 for 2 so far. The one on Steve Sabol was great. The one on Matt Millen was great. I can't wait to see this next one.
Bears with 1 timeout to work with. Here's a pitch to Forte. Got a blocker in front. And he's going to get a first down before he's run out of bounds. Antrell Roll took him out, but a 13-yard pickup by Matt Forte.
Yeah, and that's a tough play for the contained guy. Marshall Faulk made a living on this play. I think Dick Vermeil and the Rams called it 90 flip. I call it misdirection toss. Fullback this way, tailback that way. Where's the contained man over here? He's not there. Nice job. You pull the left tackle. Bushrod, he gets up the field, and Forte, he can run, he can catch, and he can pass.
Lawson got a block on that side as well. So the first down run has him out at the 33-yard line. Just under 3 minutes in the half. That one's tipped. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. Justin Tuck is the guy that got a hand on it.
And I think if you're going to run that 3-step slant, you got to cut Tuck. He can't come free off the edge. Somebody's got to cut him and get his hands down. That's an impossible throw.
3 years ago against the Bears, Tuck is one of 2 Giants that had 3 sacks in that game. They sacked Cutler 9 times and knocked him out of the game. Actually, 10 total sacks in the ball game. Hasn't been sacked tonight, and he throws a rocket to Bennett. And Martellus Bennett's got it out near midfield. Pick up a 15.
When Cutler sets his feet and uses his hip torque, the ball comes out so fast. I thought Beeson was going to get this. Watch him set his feet and now rip. It comes out so quickly. His release is so quick and his arm strength is so good. There aren't a whole lot of quarterbacks. It didn't look like a big deal. It's a short pass, but there aren't that many quarterbacks that could have fit that in.
Chicago, remember, used a couple timeouts earlier. So as we approach the 2-minute warning, they have it at the 48-yard line. Cutler Looks one way now, wants to come back the other. He's going to do it with his legs, and he got a first down and a nice slide. 11-yard pickup will bring us to the 2-minute warning. So the Bears offense in gear tonight, courtesy of Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall in particular. At the 2-minute warning, they're back in Giants territory.
Rich Eisen getting set for the Lexus halftime show. First half analysis and the latest on Tom Coughlin's future. Brad, take it away.
All right, Rich, we'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. They actually said that Jay Cutler slid down just short of the first down marker. So they hand it off. And this is going to be close again. I don't know if Forte got there either. Forward Progress got it very close.
Nice job inside. Both Linval Joseph and Cullen Jenkins, the two defensive tackles, both did a nice job.
Well, with that spot of Jay Cutler after his scramble, they backed it up where he started the slide. It looked like a first down before we even went to the 2-minute warning. Now ends up being a third down and a yard. Michael Bush is checked in to the Bears backfield. He's got a little more heft at 345 pounds.
Evan Britton, the third tackle, is in there also.
Fiametta, the fullback, in. Third down and a yard. It is Bush, and he's got the first down. And still on his feet as he got down to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, Matt Slauson, the veteran left guard they picked up as a free agent in the offseason, pulled and did a nice job getting up in the hole. Bush followed him.
Bears want to use a little sense of urgency here, don't they? They only got one timeout left, and the clock is moving, and they're trying to change up bodies.
Yep.
And it's down to 45. Yep. Took them a while to get lined up. They still haven't snapped it at 40. Cutler throws across the middle inside the 30. It's a first down to Brandon Marshall. And we're under a half minute. Pick up a 13 though. And again, the fans a little bit restless at Soldier Field here. They're going, hurry up, hurry up,
you got to pick it up.
Cutler over the middle again. This is to Forte. And he gets to the 22, and now they got to call a timeout.
Yep.
So I guess they could take one shot to the end zone or try to throw something quick out of bounds and then bring out Gold in the field goal unit. Reminder for NFL fans, you can share your story about why you love football. Go to NFL.com/together we make football for official rules and a chance to win a trip to Super Bowl 48. And offense is going to stay out there.
Now, this is where Jay Cutler has got to show that he's a veteran and he's matured. If they're going to take a shot here, he can't afford any kind of turnovers. If it's not there, throw it in the 10th row. As it is, you're well within makeable field goal range. No sacks, no picks.
Your two big hitters, Marshall and Jeffrey, to the top of your screen. With 11 seconds left. Can't take a sack here. Cutler's going to let it rip to the corner. And over everybody's head, Earl Bennett was the intended receiver. And now you bring out the field goal unit.
And that's fine. Bennett did not win cleanly. He got the matchup he wanted, 1-on-1, but it wasn't there. Throw it away.
Not sure that the time management was the greatest.
No.
Or they could have had maybe a couple more shots. As it is, they've got a field goal kicker that hasn't missed yet this year. This will be a 40-yard attempt. To try to make it a 10-point game. Robbie Gould. And he does. So nice drive by Chicago. They don't get what they were looking for, but they do add 3. And barring another short kick by Gould, our first half will be coming to a close momentarily. So Chicago with a 10-point lead. Reminder for you with NFL Game Rewind, you can get access to coaches' film and full game replays from the first 5 weeks of the year on demand in HD. You can learn more at NFL.com/Game Rewind. So a 58-yard drive in 10 plays nets them the 40-yard field goal with 2 seconds remaining before intermission. Devin Hester with a smile on his face right now. I guess that means Robbie Gould's going to kick it as long as he can.
I'm guessing he was trying to kick it as long as he could anyway. I did talk to Joe DiCamillo, the special teams coach, before the game, and he said, depending on the wind direction, you'll get some returns tonight.
And this one's dribbled on purpose.
Yep.
And covered by the Giants to end the first half. Good first half by that guy. 2 touchdown catches for Brandon Marshall. Eli Manning struggled early, then led a couple of long scoring drives, but the Giants 0-5 are trailing by 10 at halftime. Stay tuned for the Lexus halftime show. It's coming right up.
I'm Dick Butkus, and welcome to my city.
The New York Giants and the Chicago Bears. And there's interception number 13 on the year. Pick 6, touchdown.
Manning cannot throw that football.
Batters his way into the end zone. Wow. Touchdown, New York. Brandon Marshall. Touchdown, second of the night. And we welcome you back to Thursday Night Football. Start of the third quarter is at hand. A 10-point lead right now for the hometown Chicago Bears. Brad Nessler and Mike Mayock, partner. We started the show tonight with the theme of turnovers. Yep. And in the first 5 passes, Eli Manning threw 2 to the other team. 1 cost him 7 points. Yep. He did rebound to hit 8 of his last 9, but that's the difference in the ball game right now.
Common denominator for the Giants, minus 13 turnover differential coming in, minus 2 in the first half. On defense, haven't been able to generate a sack or a turnover. Same thing all season.
Let's take a look at the Volkswagen halftime summary. Jay Cutler hasn't been sacked. Brandon Marshall has been sensational. 6 catches, including 2 touchdowns on the night. Kevin Gilbride talking with Eli Manning over there on the sideline. I mentioned Eli hit 8 of his last 9, led a couple of long scoring drives. Cutler, after being beaten up 3 years ago in this matchup with the Giants, has been untouched tonight. Devin Hester, if he gets his hands on this one, I think Glenn Milburn's Bears kickoff return record will go by the wayside. That's if Josh Brown gives him a chance. Third quarter underway. And Josh Brown gave him a chance. Devin Hester from a yard deep. There's a new record. And now he takes it straight up the middle with a nice return out to the 26-yard line. Let's check in with Alex.
Well, Brad and Mike, as you just mentioned, for the Giants, getting pressure on quarterback Jay Cutler has been a big problem for them. Tom Coughlin telling me that in the second half we can expect to see them rushing more than 4 men. The defensive front having just trouble getting pressure on their own. Of course, the problem being if you rush from the secondary or from the linebackers, then you leave the corners on an island out there, as you guys well know, against the Chicago Bears team. Not something you want to do when they have the receivers that they do in Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey.
Not only that, the corners aren't the regular starters, or at least one of them isn't. So the first snap of the game, play action bootleg for Cutler. Rips it complete to Brandon Marshall. That's his 7th catch of the night.
Really like the timing and the fact that once again Mark Trestman is moving the pocket. Give a different launch point for Jay Cutler. Play action fake this way, bootleg to his right, comeback route by the wide receiver. The ball was in the air before he even turned, and it needs to be. Good throw, strong hands, man.
Out to the 41-yard line. Well, this opening defensive set for the Giants is huge because you don't want to give the Bears a 17-point lead in the third quarter. Forte stood up by Beeson after about a yard gain.
You know, Brad,
Devin Hester coming over, getting a high five from Robbie Gould after they had some words earlier in the ball game.
Alex talked about bringing more than 4, and Brad, you and I talked about that earlier today. I don't think they can get home with 4. You're down 10. They're going to have to take some chances and get Cutler off the spot.
He's been spot on so far. Now he's going to throw a little screen out to Forte with blockers in front. Nice open field tackle, though, by Will Hill to stay with it.
And they could have gotten more out of this. It's an overload blitz, and I thought Forte made the wrong cut here. I thought he had an opportunity to make the cut back inside. They're bringing overload. What a great call against overload. You got a big Matt Slauson out in front of you, and you got your wide out. Make the cut up inside that block by Marshall. Takes it to the outside. There should have been more to that run.
Took the wrong part of the Slauson cutoff. 3rd down and 3. Cutler from the shotgun. Had to pull it down, and now he's going to run for the 1st down. And this time slides easily, and he's looking for a flag, and he got it.
Really frustrating for a defense. Pierre-Paul almost gets home, but because there's no lane discipline in the middle, Cutler just tucks it and goes.
And John Perry, our referee, with a call.
Now he's going to slide.
Foul. Defense, number 26. Two-hand contact to a sliding quarterback.
That's
15-yard
not
penalty.
much more than two-hand touch right there.
Touched the wrong part, back of his head.
I think there's got to be some common sense, though, that goes with these rules. And I get the shot to the head, but he barely touched him.
So it moves the football down inside the 30. This is the Bears opening march of the 3rd quarter. And in just over a couple of minutes, they're down at the Giants 28. Cutler going to throw this one on the ground. Never had a chance. I don't know if it was supposed to be a screen pass to Forte and he was covered, but Jay just threw that one in the dirt.
Yeah, there was immediate interior pressure, and that's what disrupts a quarterback more than anything. Big Sean Rogers.
So again, no Cutler mistakes so far tonight. He's the good Jay, as we talked about earlier.
Hadn't seen any ghosts yet. And that time they brought 5. They brought the strong safety off the slot. So you can see there's a whole different defensive package the Giants are showing in the second half.
Alshon Jeffrey in motion, sets up right wing. Matt Forte going to the right side. I think this one's coming back. Forte, great run down inside the 10, but it looks like we might have a holding call. And it's coming back.
Yeah, it's on Garza, the center. Rogers does a great job.
Offense, number 63, 10-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
This was a pretty easy one to see. Look right in the middle of your screen here. Garza, the veteran, against Rogers, the veteran. Good swim move by Rogers. Look at the arm tackle right there by Garza. You can't miss that on a 350-pound man.
Truly is a bear hug. And it comes all the way back now to the 38-yard line again.
I was talking to Kyle Long last night, and I asked him about how much help he gets from Garza, 13-year veteran. He said, Mike, without him helping me, especially early in the season with some of these complicated looks, he said sometimes he just hits me and says left or right, but I have no idea.
Here's a play fake and a long ball coming from Cutler. Just overshot Alshon Jeffrey, who had a half step on Terrell Thomas.
And they got what they wanted again, which is a one-on-one. And that time, Jordan Mills, the right tackle, had a little bit of problem with Kiwanuka, and the ball was a little bit overthrown.
He puts a little more air under that. It's probably a touchdown.
Yeah. But again, like you said, partner, the good Jay Cutler. I have no problem with that coming out a little early with pressure, and it's incomplete. It's not a sack, and it's not a turnover.
So that's 3rd down and 20. Michael Bush in the backfield, as is Martellus Bennett, the tight end. Cutler going to lob it out to Bennett, and he's going to be brought down. Nice open field tackle by Antrell Roll. That might have gotten them into field goal territory, though.
Yeah, this one, I believe, is with the wind.
Gold hasn't missed this year. His career long is 58, and he has made 11 straight from plus 50. This will be a 52-yard attempt.
His center is Patrick Manley. He's been in this league for 16 years snapping football.
Robbie Gould snapped a little wide, but Gould's kick is true. 52-yarder. for the veteran out of Penn State. 11:23 remaining third quarter. Now the Giants find themselves 13 down and staring at 0-6 unless they can mount a comeback. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by Volkswagen. That's the power of German engineering. And by Burger King, where taste is king. You ever get a chance to do the water tour around Chicago? Do it. It's spectacular. 11:23 remaining third quarter. A 40-yard drive and 8 plays. Robbie Gould with a field goal.
Yeah, Manley's been in this league 16 years. He's 38 years old. And after the kickoff, I got to tell you a little story about this guy.
Guy that just hit the 52-yarder. Knocks one into the end zone to Jernigan, who will bring it out from about 5 yards deep. And Jernigan across the 20 to the 22, where he's planted there.
So, partner, I'm on the field before the game timing the field goal, the snaps and everything. And Manley says, hey, what are you doing? And I said, dude, you're like 90 years old. How have you lasted this long? And he started laughing, and he said, you know what? I played college football against some of my coaches. I said, what are you talking about? He said, Mel Tucker was at Wisconsin my senior year at Duke. In my last game, we played them in a bowl game.
Wow.
So this cat has been along. He was a 310-pound lineman for Duke. He's now down to about 250. And what a great living he's made snapping football.
You can long snap. You can last a long time.
Yeah, man.
First down for the Giants, who are down 13 now. Got to have an answer here in the third quarter. Manning, straight drop. Comes across the middle, completes. That's Bear Pasco, just a little bit shy of the first down, I think.
And Brad, this is where I think Eli and the Giants have to be a little patient, and he did a heck of a job there. He went to his third read. You still got to run the football. You still have to be patient. You can't get into that mode where you're trying to force the football.
For a second there, I thought the Giants were going to go with a little tempo. Last play is being reviewed, and I think that hit the ground first.
Yeah, no doubt.
And they bring it back.
They're missing Martellus Bennett a little bit this year, who happens to be on the other sideline.
They got to reset the game clock here. The play clock has been reset, and now they can reset the offense at the 21-yard line. Eli Manning, first 5 passes, 2 of them were picked off. He's settled in, and now he knows what he's got to do. They need a couple of scores in the second half. Brandon Jacobs. And flags fly.
You know, it's tough being a rookie in this league on the offensive line.
False start. Offense. Number 84. 5-yard penalty.
Both the tight end and the tackle. Watch what happens when McClellan starts to move down. McClellan does not jump in the neutral zone. He's moving down the slant. And you can see both the right tackle and the tight end jump. Both young players. Larry Donnell there, who played quarterback heading into Grambling, now a tight end. Big body kid, strong, good-looking kid, but boy, he's got a lot of work to do before he can play every down.
He and Justin Pugh both jumped a little bit, bringing up the second down at 15. Bears look like they might bring an extra body. They don't. Manning to throw. Maybe. Eli running for his life. He's got to get rid of it. He completed it to Darrell Scott. Scott with Briggs giving chase. And a pickup of 3 in what could have been a disaster.
Oh, boy, do I get nervous when I see that. Now, there was a hold inside. Peppers got held badly. But what Manning does here at the end, when he turns around towards his end zone, he's looking. He doesn't see anything he likes. Now, when he makes this U-turn, I go, you got no shot. Somehow, he picks up Darrell Scott.
And picked up positive yardage, but it's still third down and a bunch. 3rd and 12. And they find themselves in this situation a lot this year. This time, Manning's going to go down. Briggs and Wooten are there to combine on the sack, the first of the game.
beginning of the game, we talked about A-gap pressure and what it means. You're going to see Briggs come here, and right behind him, Anderson. He'll come free. Manning sees the free runner, runs right up into Briggs' arms. Bad news for this Giants offense, trailing by 13 and having to punt the football away.
Don't let that guy handle it.
Yeah.
Steve Weatherford from his own goal line.
I would recommend hang time here.
He got some, but Devin Hester's camping under it from the 36-yard line. Oh, the ball's out. Great play by the Giants. Do they have it? Charles James down there. Big pile up. No signal yet. And now they're going to say the Bears got back on top of it.
Charles James, the rookie corner from Charleston Southern, comes under, does a great job knifing under, making the tackle.
There's a penalty marker to boot over there on the far sideline.
And I don't know whether they ruled this fumble or not.
Illegal block in the back. Return team, number 35. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down, timeout.
Well, they keep the ball, but they back up 10 yards. But they avoid a costly mistake there. 27-14 Bears. Big day on Sunday. NFL Game Day first at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. And a Hall of Fame cast brings you NFL Game Day morning, taking you up to kickoff. Game Day continues with the best plays from the afternoon action. And we top it off at 11:30 Eastern Time with NFL Game Day Final. It's a full day of NFL action on NFL Network on Sunday. Here are the Bears fans enjoying what they're seeing so far. 13-point lead, just under 9.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Mike, I got to think the Giants can't afford to give up any more points right now.
Yeah, this is a danger Will Robinson situation right here.
Alshon Jeffrey on the end around. The long strider brought down, but he picked up about 16 yards before they can get him.
Nice play, a little reverse out of a tight bunch set. Dante Rosario is going to do a nice job, number 88 on the far side here. There's the block on Tuck. He cuts inside.
Alshon, I mentioned last week, set a Bears record with 218 yards receiving. That broke a long-time record of Harlan Hill back in 1954. Harlan Hill, who after his name now honors the Division II College Football Player of the Year. On first down. Again, a good pocket for him, and he whips it out to Forte. Forte gets 5 or 6 before he's run out of bounds by Amukamara.
I like what you just said about the pocket. Now, they short set. Watch the 3 interior offensive linemen. They don't step back. They short set, allowing a pocket that Cutler can step up into. The offensive tackles are both coached. If you're going to lose up the field. You can't get beat inside. Aaron Cromer, the offensive coordinator, used that in New Orleans with Drew Brees, and that's one of the teaching points with Cutler. Climb the pocket.
Out of a pistol set, the pitch to Forte. He was really close to the first down. Not sure if he got it or not.
You know, Brad, I talked to John Madden today, right? And we were talking about Kyle Long, and then we started to talk about this game. And he said, you know, Mike, he said, I think today's football, you got to have a clean middle. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, those 3 inside linemen, with quarterbacks like Peyton Manning and Drew Brees, they really got a short set.
Was he in our meeting?
And that's, I was like, Coach, were you in the meeting?
That's exactly what we talked about, John.
He was awesome, man. He was talking about Kyle Long, watching him play at Oregon.
And we know he's watching tonight. Forte, this time no gain. Might have lost a half-yard. John Beeson on the stop.
So, of course, he coached, and he's a very good friend of Howie Long.
Right.
And he told me that Howie told me he had a son at Oregon playing offensive line. So he said he started watching games, and he said, you know, everybody's telling me that the kid doesn't know what he's doing. And the more I look at him, the more I think the kid does know what he's doing. Howie calls me, and Howie says, I got this kid, I'm not sure he knows what he's doing. And I'm going, Howie, I think he knows what he's doing. And, of course, he ended up being a first-round pick. And I'm like, Coach, you still got a pretty good eye, man.
And I think he does know what he's doing. But he's only going to get better. That whole right side of the Bears line, likewise. Cutler throws complete, and it's Bennett. It's a first down, Chicago.
This is some cool stuff here, Brad. This is Kyle Long back in high school right there. 295 pounds at tight end.
Okay.
Get off me, really? Right? Now here he is at Wildcat quarterback, 295. And when he lined up at Wildcat, his brother Howie, who was the regular quarterback, had to go to wide receiver.
And then he almost ended up being a major league pitcher. A left-hander who throws about 100 miles an hour. And here he is, the starting right guard for Chicago. Cutler, nice play fake. Pressure coming, though. Rips it. Incomplete, intended for Alshon Jeffrey. And Jason Pierre-Paul finally got a little bit of pressure on number 6.
Yeah, Forte didn't get a good piece of him. And again, I give Cutler credit because the pressure was coming. It was a deep over route to Jeffrey, and he threw it in front of him and out of bounds. You're up 13. Don't give these guys any chance to crawl back into a football game.
Mark Trestman, his first year as a head coach after successful campaigns in the Canadian Football League. Won a couple of Grey Cups with Montreal. He had glowing remarks about his quarterback yesterday when we met with him. Second down at 10. Little draw play. Michael Bush isn't going anywhere. Linval Joseph on the stop along with Beeson.
Ness, were you as impressed with Mark Trestman in their meeting yesterday as I was?
Yeah.
Because it was the first time both of us had met him.
Really an intelligent guy. It's hard to explain. Kind of quiet, but has known football. 17 years he's been at one time or another in the NFL. But then, as I mentioned, a CFL winner of the big ones, the Grey Cups. He was actually on Bud Grant's last step. Bud Grant was probably the most notable. He and Marv Levy to come out of the CFL and be successful in the NFL. That one's incomplete, intended for Michael Bush. And good stop by the Giants. They needed that one.
You know what I find interesting about Trestman also is that there's a 3-year gap in his resume where he left coaching. He and his wife thought he was done. He moved to South Florida, took his Series 7 test, became an investment banker, very successful financially. He's an attorney also. And he got a call from George Seifert in 1994 sitting at his desk saying, "Why are you doing that? We need to talk about coaching with the San Francisco 49ers."
And his first thought was, this can't be George Seifert. Here's a punt. Ruben Randall has to fair catch it back around the 9-yard line. First punt of the game for the Bears. Giving the ball back to the Giants inside their own 10, but at least Eli and company have another chance on offense when we come back trailing by 13. One of those Chamber of Commerce nights in Chicago. Beautiful evening for our Thursday night football in the beginning of week 6 of the NFL season. And in those first 5 weeks, the Giants 0 for trying to get off that winless mark, but they're down by 13 and inside their own 10. Manning throws complete to Cruz, and that gets him out across the 30-yard line. Nice throw and catch.
Yeah, beautiful throw and catch, and Manning does a nice job on this bubble move. He's going to get in behind the corner, and the safety can't get over top. Watch the pump fake right there. Number 21, Major Wright, can't get there in time. This is an absolutely beautiful throw. Cruz in between the corner and the safety. Big time play.
Mike, they had back-to-back 3-and-outs. The Giants, in fact, that's their first down since 10.5 minutes remained in the second quarter. Wow. So they can't afford a 3-and-out. They won't have one here. At least they'd like to change the field position a little bit if they don't get points. Brandon Jacobs runs it up tough inside, and again, he just keeps backpedaling for extra yardage. 3 hard-earned yards before Lance Briggs puts the brakes on it.
And I would encourage the Giants to stay patient. You're down 13, plenty of time left. The one thing you can't afford is that dagger blow, another pick six or a turnover in your own end of the field.
Second down at 7. Giants at their own 35-yard line with just over 4 minutes to play third quarter. They'll run it. Jacobs broke a shoestring tackle, but he's not going to get away from the rest of the Bears defense. Shea McClellan finally brought him down. DJ Williams was the first guy to hit him.
Yeah, and they brought Lance Briggs also, and Briggs cut through and really forced him to bounce. and that's why DJ Williams was able to get him.
And DJ coming off holding his shoulder after that collision with Jacobs.
10-year player out of Miami, 31 years old.
Huge third down for the Giants, and the Bears fans know it.
Rookie Jonathan Bostic, the second-round pick in the game now for the Bears at linebacker.
They shift Randall Myers, the tight end, over into a slot on the right side. Bears are going to bring pressure. Manning has to get rid of it and throws a perfect strike to Nix. Hakeem Nicks into Bears territory, and a stiff arm gets him all the way down to the 35-yard line. The Giants desperately needed 8. They got 31.
Same double-A gap pressure where the nickel comes in untouched. This is what their bread and butter is. And then the nickel comes out here completely untouched. Fry comes in. Eli recognizes it. That was the same throw as the first interception of the game.
Right.
But Nix came back to the football where Randall didn't. Same throw, same defense. Different result.
First down at the 35. So they've made their way into Bears territory. Now they got to keep it going. Manning in the shotgun. Moves around in the pocket, fires near side, and throws it away.
Yep. Not a problem. Fight another day.
Absolutely. Second down and 10 upcoming. Bears run there. Pasco back out there quickly into the huddle. That's Charles Tillman, who is not playing tonight. His knee just didn't give him enough push tonight as he worked out before the ball game. On second and 10, back to Jacobs. Again, he got by the first wave. The second wave gets to him. Major Wright comes up to help Bostic on the stop, and DJ Williams looks like he's going to the locker room.
Yeah, that's a shame. Staying patient with the run game. Major Wright, 21, the safety, does a nice job. If you're tackling 264 pounds, you want to get underneath it.
Yeah.
And he did a really nice job creating leverage.
Well, partner, on their last 3rd and 8, they got a big chunk. They need 3rd and 8 again.
And again, this is where they typically will show pressure in the A gap.
Bears with a stunt up front, doesn't get to Eli, and he throws that same route again to Randall. And Randall's got a first down.
I'm not so sure when he slammed the ball down in frustration whether or not he was touched.
The officials having a committee meeting.
This is interesting at the end of this. Okay, he's going to catch the football and try and get up the field. Now watch him get mad. And he slams it down and gets up. And the Bears recover.
And
you see?
They stop the play.
Yeah. Good job. Whoever's up in the booth for Chicago did a heck of a job. Let's see what happens at the very end. Rueben Randall's got to understand that ball's free. That is a fumble, folks. Now, the only question I have is whether or not the referees said he gave himself
That's
up
what I was going to say.
And ruled it down.
And that's what they're going to have to look at. Challenge flag came out.
And I hope that's not the case, because that's a major mental mistake by Rueben Randall.
So Mark Trestman's pleading his case with the challenge. And the officials over there talking with him.
There you go. Yep.
Down, but nobody touched him.
Frustrated. That's a free football. I sincerely hope they didn't blow the whistle. Did he get him there? I don't think he got him there.
The receiver was ruled to give himself up, put the ball on the ground, down by high contact, then is the rule with no fumble.
So there you go.
He didn't give himself up, and I mean, he didn't even know the rule. I understand what they're saying. It just frustrates me when a guy makes a play like that and he gets away with it.
I bet he won't do it again.
The rules can't be that way. It's just not right.
As it is, the Giants luckily keep the football in the red zone at the 14-yard line. They got 3 tight ends in there right now in the 8th play of their drive. Brandon Jacobs on the stretch plays, hitting the backfield, and down he goes for a loss of a couple.
Corey Wootton did a heck of a job. He got held by David Deal, fought through the hold, and made the play. Here's David Deal. Watch what happens right there in the hole. Deal, 32-year-old veteran, gets his arms up around the neck. He holds them, but Wootton at 270 pounds plays bigger than that.
Final half minute of the 3rd quarter. The Giants, crucial drive here to get points. Trailing by 13. Yards have been a lot harder to come by for Brandon Jacobs in the 2nd half. Manning throws to the corner to Cruz, and a flag flies in to let pass interference on Tim Jennings.
Boy, this was good coverage, too. Really good coverage.
I think if he could have turned his head around,
right,
maybe wouldn't have been a call.
Right. And that's my frustration as a former defensive back. It's so hard when you're back. He's trying to find the football now, and then he effectively dives right up into his face, and that is pass interference. Right there.
So a 1st and goal now for New York.
If he just kept his head on a swivel and stayed with the football, he might have even had an interception.
Jennings, who got the first 7 of the ball game on an interception return for a touchdown of Eli Manning, doesn't give up a touchdown there, but he does give up a 1st and goal. From the 1, Brandon Jacobs, touchdown New York. 1-yard plunge, and with just seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, Giants are back in it.
A scuffle. Kevin Booth took exception to Chris Conte. Giants keep fighting back, Ness.
They do. Good to see Brandon Jacobs having this kind of night. As Alex said earlier, so excited just to be out there and be a starter again in the Giants uniform, and he's making the most of it, that's for sure.
Sure is.
And Eli Manning on that drive, they needed a couple big 3rd and 8s. He got it to Nix for 31, Randall for 19 on a controversial play, but they kept possession, and they're about to cap off a 91-yard drive that they desperately needed. 9 plays, 91 yards in 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Ruben Randall got lucky. Brandon Jacobs got it in the end zone. Been almost a year since the Giants had a touchdown drive that long. Longest in the last 12 games, and boy, did they need it. 27-21 now, 6 seconds remaining in the quarter. Devin Hester waiting back deep for Josh Brown's kick. Hester, the all-time leading Bear return man, with what he's had earlier tonight, and he's bringing this one from 5 yards deep. Oh, not going to make it to the 20. Good hit. And the 3rd quarter will close on that kick return. Jaquan Williams on the special teams made the stop. We played 3 quarters of Thursday Night Football. Good one going at Soldier Field. Bears at home, leading by 6. Another look as we start the 4th quarter of kind of a controversial end to that play, that catch by Ruben Randall when nobody touched him, and the ruling was he gave himself up. Dean Blandino is the vice president of officiating for the National Football League. He's been with us a lot of games so far this year. We got a chance to bring you in. You want to explain that one?
Sure, it's interesting. It's a similar play the Giants had a couple of years ago with Victor Cruz. Randall thinks he's down. He rolls over, makes no immediate attempt to advance the football, so the officials kill the play and rule he gave himself up.
So the proper call made on the field kept the drive alive, a 91-yard march, and so it was really a critical play right there.
Critical play, but it was the proper call. I thought that he was touched down as well, but the official had ruled that he gave himself up prior to that.
Dean, can we change that rule, please? I don't like rewarding guys.
We'll take
can
it
we
under
do that?
advisement.
Competition committee.
Come to the meeting down in Florida, right?
All right,
you got it, man. Thank you.
We'll let you go check out the rest of the game. Thanks for being along with us. So a half minute in to the fourth quarter, and the Bears with a second down and a yard. Now it's a slim 6-point lead.
Hey, Mike 21. We're good.
3 wideouts for Jay Cutler. And he's going to look for one of them here. Pressure coming, going long. Alshon Jeffrey dropped the ball. Flags down. Wait and see if we had holding maybe on Alshon Jeffrey's route. And Alshon comes up limping.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 20. 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Prince Amukamara, and that's the call.
And that's what's difficult about covering these guys. They're not great route runners. They don't get in and out of breaks easily, but they're so darn big and physical, fast with great hands that you almost have to, when you're shorter, you almost have to get as physical as you can with them and hold them.
And you saw Amukamara was checking Alshon's bicep size, holding onto his arm. Good call. And it gives Chicago a first down. Forte. Out maybe to the 37. Mike Patterson brought him down.
It was interesting talking to Cutler about these two wide receivers. You know, one's 6'3", 216. That's Jeffrey. Brandon Marshall, 6'4", 230. And when we talked about, hey, they don't run precise routes, is that difficult for you? He was like, no way, because they're so big, they give me opportunities with their catching radius to put the ball in different places for them.
Said it actually makes it easier for him.
Yep.
Second down and 6. Joe Anderson in there, the wide receiver right now in motion. Draw play, Forte. Gets to the 40, but he's going to be short of the first down. Bring up third down and a short 3.
Interesting how these Giants kind of hung around all day.
Yeah.
You know, and they're an 0-5 team. We talked earlier in the game, Alex talked about how the locker room hadn't let down yet. They had every chance to give this thing up a long time ago, and they haven't.
With the exception of the Carolina game, in the third quarter of games, they've been within a score. And now they're within a score in the fourth quarter. They could use a stop here on 3rd and 2. Cutler lobs it to Forte, made the catch, but did he get the first down? I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, great job by Cutler, because Jordan Mills, the young right tackle, lost his edge, and Cutler had to just give you a little touch. Here's the right tackle. Jordan Mills working with Kiwanuka. He loses the edge there. Cutler comes back right off his back foot. Look at the touch on that, the accuracy. That's kind of a huge throw on 3rd down for a first. That's pretty cool right there.
Great run by Forte after the catch to just get 1 foot ahead of that first down marker. Now here's the toss to Forte.
Oh, Amukamara did a fantastic job getting up underneath Bushrod, the left tackle, pulling.
And Paysinger's the guy that put the stop on.
Love to see corners that are not afraid of big linemen. Get up in there and make a play. Really awesome.
Gain of a yard brings up 2nd down and 9 as we approach 12 minutes. Bears just inside their own 45-yard line. Earl Bennett joins the wide receiver core to the right with Alshon Jeffrey, and Marshall who's had the big gain down at the bottom. Bennett, the tight end, moving at the snap on 2nd down and 9, and they're going to throw it out to him, and he's got a first down and more. Martellus Bennett inside the 40-yard line, pickup of 16.
If Pierre-Paul wins inside against Bushrod, but the ball gets out so quickly, he's got no shot at getting home. Mark Trestman told us his experience with the 49ers makes him somewhat of a West Coast guy, meaning timing, ball out. And I'll tell you, Martellus Bennett continues to play extremely well for these Bears and give him another outlet.
A 6'6", 265-pound outlet. We got him a first down at the 39-yard line.
Marshall in the backfield.
Here's the throw, complete. Michael Bush. Bush brought down by Terrell Thomas. But he got a nice gain on the catch out of the backfield.
It's kind of interesting watching Antrel Roll go in motion with big Brandon Marshall, who then set up in the backfield. Sets up a difficult situation for the defensive back.
Second down at 4. 8th play of the drive coming up. And they've used 4.5 minutes off the clock. Giants can't win unless they get the ball back at some point. And right now the Bears are chewing up ground and minutes. Play action, slip screen out, complete. Marshall's going the wrong way though. Nice job by the Giants defense. And Mukamara again helping out on the stop. Loss of a yard.
And Paysinger. Mukamara and Paysinger really hustling there. I thought they might have had something. See, Paysinger is going to come from the inside out. Look from the right of your screen. There's the flash of Paysinger, and give a Mukamara credit for keeping his outside leverage. That's good team defense right there.
Well, the Giants, if they're going to stop somebody right here, would be a good opportunity. 3rd down and 4. And Cutler's got to throw it on the ground. And it was Jaquan Williams coming straight up the middle to apply the pressure. And now we got a late flag fly in.
Now, Cutler's going to make the argument that he's trying to throw it close to the feet of Forte. But Forte had released. He's in the pocket. Certainly not outside the box.
Intentional grounding. Penalty includes loss of down.
Yeah, that's a
4th
painful
down.
penalty right there. Now, he's in the pocket, obviously, so let's see where Forte is. Forte's right here. And Cutler's saying, and coaches coach this, Brad. When you're in trouble, throw it at the feet of your running back. And that's what he was trying to do.
And with a penalty, it takes him out of field goal opportunity range, that's for sure. So Podlish comes in to punt for only the 2nd time tonight. Ruben Randall stands inside the 10-yard line on the other end. Yeah, they got close to the kick.
Yeah, man.
Randall, fair catch, taken inside the 10-yard line. But the last time the Giants had it inside the 10-yard line, they took it 91 yards to get back in the football game. We'll find out if Eli Manning and company can do that again when we return. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by Verizon. Never be without football. Call ** NFL to download NFL Mobile from Verizon. 27-21, 9:33 remaining, 4th quarter at Soldier Field, and Jay Cutler letting John Perry know he thought a couple of his calls weren't that good. He said that's 2 now. But it forced a punt. Last time the Giants had the ball, they went 91 yards. And right now they're 92 yards away from taking the lead. Brandon Jacobs. Jacobs, nice stiff arm on his own guy, and he rumbles out across the 20. Put his hand on one of his linemen and propelled himself to 16 yards.
And they pulled David Deal, the right guard. Deal's going to come around and watch the tailback Jacobs get in right behind him. Nice job at the point of attack. There's that stiff arm you're talking about from Bear Pasco, his own teammate.
He used that as a springboard, and he's got 76 yards on 18 carries. 9 minutes remaining in the ball game. Jacobs gets a breather. Darrell Scott comes in. Giants trying to mount a rally here in the 4th quarter. Play action. Eli Manning scanning the field, running out of time. He flips it or tries to. Ball is out. And they're going to say it's an incomplete pass. He had Darrell Scott in there next to him, and he just tried to flip it to him, and they call it incomplete.
Remember, as long as he's flipping it forward, it is incomplete. Is Scott ahead? Is the ball ahead? And it certainly looks like it.
Boy, right down the line.
Yeah.
That's close.
I think it's the right ball, though. I don't necessarily approve of what Manning did there because it's exactly Brad, we talked about take care of the football in the pocket. I don't like that move, but I think he got away with it okay.
He talked with us about that. I got to keep the ball high in the pocket when there's trouble. And now Scott goes down after only a yard gain, and Bostic, the rookie linebacker out of Florida, made the stop.
There's a cut and a slip right here. He goes down. Some criticism of the turf last week in the Bears game against New Orleans.
This is as loud as it's been at Soldier Field tonight. 3rd down and 9. Briggs coming. Manning got away from him. Fires on the run. Incomplete. And a flag flies in. I don't know, that ball's catchable. I'm not sure what got going on there with Jennings and Nix, the intended receiver, but they're trying to separate them now. And how big is this call going to be?
This is huge. Bear pass goes.
There's no foul for pass interference. The pass was uncatchable.
It was a clear throwaway. I agree with that. Now Bear Pasco loses the edge. Here comes Nix. The ball's clearly thrown way over his head now. Did he grab him and throw him down? Yeah. Should it be a penalty? Absolutely. However, it was 10 yards over Nixon's head.
So the Giants have got a punt with just under 8 minutes to play.
And look who's back there.
Devin Hester hasn't gotten loose yet tonight. Weatherford might not want to give him a chance. And he won't. So it's going to bounce out of bounds around the 35. So the Giants got 1 first down, but that's all they could muster. And now the question is, will they ever get their hands on the football again? The Bears are hoping not. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by the new 2014 Lexus GX. Dare to be spontaneous. Beautiful night in Chicago. Bears making it pretty for their fans if they can hold on to a 6-point lead with 7:48 remaining. The brain trust of the Giants hoping they get another chance on offense. Big night for Brandon Marshall coming out of that huddle to the near side with Alshon Jeffrey, who only has 1 catch tonight. That came midway through the second quarter after the huge game he had last week. Here's a toss to Forte. Blocker in front. Got the corner, but a nice job by John Beeson to make the stop.
Oh, man, did Bushrod kill Amukamara.
That's not fair. 320 on about 200.
I give Amukamara some credit, man. He stuck his nose in all day, but that was a runaway freight train. Watch what happens to your right there. There goes Amukamara. Bushrod. Oh, boy, do I remember those days.
2nd down and 7.
I was usually the bug and not the windshield.
You're still not right because of it. Here's Cutler to throw. Fires complete. Going to be a first down to Brandon Marshall. So his big night continues. He's got 9 catches for 87 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
Excellent patience against the zone defense. He fights off the line of scrimmage with physicality in between Amukamara and the linebacker pacing her. Really well done.
So first down at the 46. And the Bears can continue to eat clock as we approach 6.5 minutes.
Alert blitz. Lion.
Cutler's yelling alert blitz.
And it looks like it's covered.
Hey!
Jay's back to throw again. He's going to go deep. He's got a man out there in Jeffrey, and he couldn't quite locate it. Jarrell Thomas was there. Pretty good defense. Looked like their feet might have gotten tangled up right at the end of that play.
You know what? And Jay Cutler stopped this whole thing, and Garza looked at Long and said, "You got 52." I heard it on the audio. Long lets the guy go by. He picks up Beeson, there's the protection, and at the end of the play, boy, is that a beautiful throw or what?
Sure was.
You can't put that any better.
Just a funny last step taken by Alshon Jeffrey, and he couldn't locate the football, so it's 2nd down and 10. Now they come back to the second man through, and it's Forte. And he takes John Beeson across the 50-yard line with him. Early, Eli Manning had his problems in his first 5 passes. 2 of them were interceptions, 1 for a touchdown. Jay Cutler to Brandon Marshall's been good for 9 catches and a couple of scores tonight. Brandon Jacobs, his return to the starting lineup for the Giants has been an impressive one. He's helped keep New York close. And here we are now with 5:41 remaining in the football game. And it's Chicago clinging to a 6-point lead. Cutler throws and incomplete. Bennett was the intended receiver and would have been out of bounds had he held onto it.
Yeah, good coverage by Mukamara.
Well, the Giants did what they wanted to do, forced a kick. Bodlish to punt. That's Ruben Randall back inside his own 10-yard line. Last time he caught it right about at the 8, which is close to where he's standing now. And he'll take the fair catch this time around the 11. 5:21 remaining in the football game. All Eli Manning wanted was a chance. The chance is at hand. With 5:21 to go, they need to go the length of the football field. Happy anniversary to us. NFL Network in its 10th year. There's a scoring by quarters. Nobody's put points up in the 4th. If the Giants can and get a touchdown, they might be 1-5 by tomorrow morning. And here's Brandon Jacobs. And he's got another great run. Picks up 14 more yards, rumbling off the left side this time.
And this is a soft box. 2 high safeties. This is a run look inside. The Giants take advantage of it with their offset backfield. Nice job up front blocking the thing. And Jacobs does the rest.
And that helps the field position because the last 3 times the Giants have had the ball, they started at their own 9, their own 8. This one started at the 11. But they've got a first down at the 25 with 4:45. Manning, quick throw on the slant, and he should have had it. Hakeem Nicks, he was thinking about where he was going, forgot to take the football along for the ride.
Just an awesome job picking everything up, making the right call, making the right read. 10 people did their job, and I know Hakeem Nicks is disappointed with himself there.
Been a year since Eli had a winning drive in this situation. He got the opportunity. Full complement of timeouts and 4:35 to play. 3 wideouts, Cruz, Randall, and Nicks in the lineup. They're going to keep it on the ground to Jacobs. Dives through for about 3. Just kind of submarined under everybody. The only team that hasn't allowed a touchdown in the 4th quarter. If they keep that statistic intact, they'll be 4-2 and will immediately take the top spot in the NFC North, at least temporarily over Detroit. You think these Bears fans don't know that?
Typically show A-gap pressure here. Chicago's checking out of something.
3rd down and a noisy 7 for Eli Manning. Eli steps up, far side. That's complete to Nicks, who caught this one. And they'll move the chains.
Boy, that is so good by a veteran quarterback in the pocket. It's only 4-man pressure. But watch Eli Manning work the pocket. Feels pressure, steps to his right, now up and through to locate a receiver and the first down. There aren't a whole lot of young. Oh, look at the hold there.
Nicks made sure on that one. Got down to his knees and got his elbows together underneath the football. So another first down. A little over 3 minutes to go. Cruz in motion toward the ball. Jacobs going to run that way. Nice stiff arm. Jacobs to the edge. Another first down. He pushed Tim Jennings out of the way and then took Major Wright with him out of bounds. And that's going to put Jacobs over 100. 105 for the old guy. Don't forget, Cardinals and Seahawks, NFC West next Thursday night. Be there with us. That'll be fun too.
Yeah.
Both have big games coming up on Sunday and then collide next Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. We got a heck of a start to week 6 right here with 3 minutes to go. First down at the Bears 49. Eli Manning has to get rid of it, and he lofted it, and it almost got picked off by Jennings again.
Ball's underthrown off his back foot because there was a free runner in Landon Cohen. So Cohen's going to get free in here. They got a chance to make a big play. The ball comes off his back foot, and it's underthrown, allowing Jennings to get it just a tiny piece. If he hits Donnell in stride, it's a touchdown.
As it is, another play by Jennings to break it up. 7th play of the Giants drive. We're under 3 minutes at the Chicago 49. Draw play, Darrell Scott. And Scott with a head of steam. Oh, man, he almost broke it all the way. As it is, he got a first down, and he's shaken up. Again, Scott brought back to this team just this week to help out on what had been an anemic ground game for the Giants. Not the case tonight between he and Jacobs.
And I give both Kevin Gilbride and Eli Manning a ton of credit for keeping the football on the ground when the situation dictates.
Big first down. Scott shaken up, but he gave one up for the team there. Darrell Scott being helped off, shaken up on that last play. Brandon Jacobs was on the sideline. They were working on his leg, and they said, hey, buddy, you got to get back in there. He's in there with Manning, and he takes it on a draw play. And with a thigh wrap and all, got about a yard. Chris Conley made the hit. We're approaching the 2-minute warning. You see the wrap on the left leg. And Brandon Jacobs.
Brad, they continue to run the football when there are 2 high safeties. Now, it's running the clock down. Kevin Gilbride knows he needs a touchdown, not a field goal here. And it's 2nd and long.
And they've got all 3 timeouts remaining. So maybe one more snap before the 2-minute warning. They took over at their own 11. Play action. Manning fires down the middle, and it's intercepted by Jennings. Tipped off the fingertips of the would-be receiver, Brandon Myers, and Tim Jennings has got his 2nd interception of the night. And that is not Eli Manning's fault. At the 2-minute warning, the 3rd interception of the night could be the killer for the Giants. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by Pizza Hut. Get the $10 any pizza deal now and create your favorite pizza for just $10. And brought to you by Windows. Less than 2 minutes. Let's check in with Rich Eisen. And we'll check in with Rich in a second as the Bears are ready to go with 1:54 remaining after the interception by Jennings. Here's a toss to Matt Forte for about a yard. Spencer Paysinger in on the stop. Giants have all their timeouts remaining. And they're going to take one right here with 1:48 to go. Now we check in with Rich down on the field.
In week number 6.
So Rich and the guys will be along post-game show. We'll take a timeout here with 1:48 remaining in the ballgame. Down to 9. Michael Bush powers ahead for a couple of yards. And we're down to 1:42 as the Giants take another timeout. May not get another opportunity. Eli Manning, that last pass that I said going to break, that wasn't his fault. When you look back on it, that pass was a little bit high. Intended.
Yeah, what a tight end. Yeah, what a difference about 4 inches makes right there. And Myers gets up there pretty well. That ball's just a tiny bit high. Interception number 3. Probably the one that's going to doom this team unless they can get the football back and make a big play.
That's the 8th fourth quarter interception this year for Eli. And that's the most in the NFL as well.
It's also most since '86, but he's in good company because Dan Fouts is one of the best that ever played.
Yeah, Fouts is in the Hall of Fame. Eli's probably heading there.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Hey, 54 miles, well side.
This guy's had an exceptional night. Jay Cutler.
Yep. This is the good Jay. Really played well.
Pressure coming. He throws complete on a 3rd and 7. Are they going to get it? Martellus Bennett trying to backpedal for it.
They get a free runner, and Cutler has to know it because of the protection and throw hot.
And when you're 0-5 and things are going wrong, things like a penalty in that kind of situation don't help the cause.
Giants.
Prior to the pass being thrown, holding, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yep. Now, they're going to turn the protection this way, which means you got a free runner here. Cutler's got to beware of that, or Forte's got to pick it up, one or the other. And I don't know if Forte went the right way there or not, but Cutler did a great job of bailing that team out.
His throw is on the mark. They've got a first down now with 1:35, and New York can only stop it one more time.
Typically, when an offensive line slides left, your tailback slot goes to the right.
Don't forget, Rich and the guys will have the Total Access postgame show coming up when we're done. And after one more timeout, the Giants may indeed be done. They'll toss it to Bush. Trying to hold out of the football. Pickup of about 3. And that's the last time New York can stop the clock with 90 seconds remaining. Tim Jennings, he got beat for 1 touchdown, but he also had a touchdown, interception, and maybe the final interception of the night as well. Well, you know, it's more than just about the pink on the uniforms and on the field and on the goalposts. Together, the NFL and the American Cancer Society are helping women across the country make a crucial catch. Hear the personal impact stories and find out how you can help finish the fight against breast cancer at NFL.com/pink. Think pink. Downtown.
Brad, I called in to make travel plans at NFL Films this weekend and spoke to Janet Zukowski, who's a breast cancer survivor in our building, and she thanked us for what we did last week talking about the situation, especially with E.J. Manuel, and made a comment that I thought was really interesting. As a survivor, she said, why do you guys always wear the cancer awareness pins on your left side? Because most women will tell you that it starts on the right side, and I'd love to see you move it over there and do that. So tonight,
we moved it over there just for Janet.
Over. Thank you, Janet.
And for everybody else out there. Janet's the best. Minute remaining. Michael Strahan, who played for these Giants, but not when they were winless, had a storybook career that almost never got started. But football and a larger-than-life personality propelled him to stardom on and off the field. Don't forget, A Football Life. Michael Strahan's coming up Tuesday night at 9 on NFL Network.
180!
And Michael Bush again just puts his head down, plows toward the line of scrimmage.
Yep. That's going to do it.
And that's going to do it. The only other time the Giants were 0-6 was 1976. They're 0-6 here in 2013. And the problems continue for Tom Coughlin and the Giants. Meanwhile, Jay Cutler and the Bears were exceptional tonight. And they go to the top of the heap in the NFC North by a half game over the Detroit Lions. As Mark Trestman in his first years 4-2. 27-21. Final score. Tough night again for Eli Manning. Don't forget Seahawks and the Cardinals next Thursday night from Arizona. Hope you join us then. We'll be back in a minute with a Total Access postgame show. Highlights, analysis, interviews, and press conferences with Rich and the guys. Stick around with us. Final score, Bears over the Giants, 27-21.